Come on in, bro.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're back, and so thank you guys for still being here with us. We had a little technical problem. We got the rain and the phone ran out of storage, so we had to take a little break. But anyway, Tom, we were talking about all those 6-line things and the hub and everything, and I think I was asking you a question on what's the opinion, or when we go out on YouTube and all those social media, we're gonna find so many different people sharing the information, sharing all this. Yeah, it can be too much, right? And as a 6-line, I guess it's very important, who are we listening to? That's why the first basic is, who do you listen to? Because there's so much nonsense out there, and design cannot be controlled in a way with the information. Like who can claim that, oh, I'm channeling design,
Apparently a lot of people, but it doesn't give them any right to do so.
Exactly.
And there is a tremendous amount of nonsense out in the world, and that's exactly what we're trying to work against. Role models are not impressed with that stuff at all, okay? I don't think that necessarily any particular group of people are impressed with it, but role models just literally can't stand it.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yeah, what we are really trying to do is get people to see how they can be correct in themselves, because we have no choice about that.
Yeah.
We feel horrible if we're not having integrity.
Exactly.
Without integrity, we don't really have the choice about it that a lot of people do. It's just right in our face all the time. Okay. So demonstration rather than discussion. And what we are discussing the notes, and we are discussing the words, but we are singing the song in front of people.
Yeah.
And this is what's really people are going to start paying attention to, particularly 6s. And right now, it's not our job to wake up everybody. Right now, it's our priority to wake up as many 6-2s as possible, okay? So that we have enough way showers and enough demonstrators in the world that can actually show people how this works. Because they're not going to buy it from what you say.
And that's why it's very important to reach the 6-line, because right now they are dropping like flies, right? They are really struggling with what's happening.
Yes, they are. And and rather than that being your opinion or my opinion, I would direct people to, in the hub, the future of the 6-line being, because it's so explanatory about the situation that we find ourselves in. And they're only going to start dropping like flies if they think there's something wrong with them. If they see that there's something good that's shifting in them, then they can get very enthusiastic to be able to share and way show with other people. I mean, get up in the morning for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is so satisfying to do. So
the thing is, from my experience, and let me know, how do you feel that? But I feel the whole world that we are living in today is really not designed and built for 6-line. Is you were saying about integrity, that we really have a hard time when if there's no integrity. But the whole world that we are living in is selling us this lack of integrity, is selling us this competition of, let me appropriate design and teaching because I want to make it a living and I want to sell you something, when this is source material. I mean, it's just come from source. Like how can we change design and appropriate something and say, oh, I channel it, or this is, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like Kali energy. You have to destroy what's been. You have to leave what's been in order to arrive at what hasn't been yet. And that requires a tremendous amount of receptivity. We were a very strategic bunch of people for a long time. It served its purpose. Thank you very much. Okay. But there's plenty of us running around. There's so many of us running around, we can kill zillions of them and never miss their presence, okay? So it's not about survival. It's about thrival at this point. And thriving is something completely different than what we have been trained to do in the mushroom management colleges. So,
and that's really the shift for 2027. That's going to be one of the particularity, should I say, of the rave baby, is that they won't be interested in competition. They won't be interested in, this is mine, and fighting with one another, right?
It'll be way more yin. It'll be way more cooperative as opposed to yang and competitive. I mean, we've said this so many times, but to be able to show that happening when we talk about things, it's rare that people teach classes together or do things together. This is an unusual.
I mean, I think we may be the first one in the entire world. Like
I don't know anybody else that's
doing that.
And the capacity to show them what cooperation looks like, rather than just talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I knew what it was to be a quad right, but I hadn't had the experience. When you experience it, that's different than knowing it. Okay, and that really comes from showing the way, rather than standing around blabbing. And that's what Ra is saying in that thing. He says it's the old way, folks. They're not going to listen to that anymore. It's the old way. They're going to be interested in seeing what you do. So in order to save a lot of 6'2s that will never be exposed to this information, to be able to show it to them, they won't need to have the information. They'll see the song being sung, and they'll have a resonance with that song or a harmony with that song. And we need a lot of way showers, or the population is going to be greatly reduced. Because people think they're going nuts, and if the way showers are reduced first, well, it's like a ship with no rudder and nobody at the helm. It's going to hit something solid eventually, pretty soon, or another ship. So that's kind of where we're at.
What can we expect? For the closer we going 2027.
Great question. Here's the answer, in my opinion. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And that's the whole deal. We cannot do the new way the way we did the old way. So we need to be surprised by it. Surprised that, oh my God, when I'm in the flow, things tend to just work. As I say in the gym, when your attitude is right, the facts don't matter. You see, and what we think are facts, they're not facts, they're beliefs, and most of them are limiting beliefs.
Exactly.
And for those who believe anything is possible, it is. It truly is. And I mean, even there's still a part of it's still so few blood cells in me to say, really? I mean, we haven't seen this yet.
Exactly.
And yet at the same time, in the experience I had with you, I did find out what it was to be a quad right. It's no longer a concept. I've experienced that. In the experiences we have had with one another, we have seen this. Okay, we talk about it online. That's one thing. We've been living under the same roof now for 3 weeks. And we see this working. It's like, wow. And I really feel that you are blood. You don't have any blood of mine running in your veins, and I don't have any of yours, but I feel the brother. And it's about resonance rather than, what monkey planted the seed where. See what I'm saying? So it's so different from anything that we've known yet. So the best thing to expect the unexpected. Expect the unknown, expect to be surprised, and pleasantly so.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Well, so, you're quite right. So what could we say to all the quite right who are listening to us? Because I believe, you guys may be a lot. And by the way, leave a comment below as well. Let us know what are your variables.
Yes.
How are your errors. As a quote right, because that's what is coming. 2027, all those babies going to be quote right now. And Ra really emphasized that the left, the strategic, is the old way. And
going to be fading out. We lived alongside Neanderthal for a long time, okay? So there'll be a side-by-side living for a while. But the old way is going to start disappearing in the same way that Tyrannosaurus Rex started disappearing, which none of us really regret.
I'm glad to not find one when I'm going to grocery,
Exactly. We don't have to deal with them here in the park today.
Exactly.
It's okay, it's okay.
That would be a bit odd.
It would be a bit threatening. So when we leave this motivation of fear and lack and find out that there's plenty for everyone. We have a gross distribution system. There's not a problem with resources. There's plenty of it. But the distribution system is very gross, and it's based upon values that are really not true, beautiful, and good. They're not that meaningful.
And that's all about the cross of planning. That's, on the first line.
And that's why everything's going into chaos now, because all those tribal bargains, all that stuff, it's breaking apart. And like you said to me about my situation, you said, you were vibrating something else. And that's why it came apart. And that is precisely correct. Wasn't anybody's fault. Okay? And I've said that over and over again. So we could do better than this. And I still believe that we can do better than this, and I'll never let go of that. Because I know we can. I don't know what it is yet. But I know we can do better than this. I mean, come on. The second most dangerous thing to one of us is one of us.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
pretty simple.
Yeah. So maybe
It's
one of
simple.
the it's easy, but
It's
easy to not do.
Not doing it is hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe one of the first, not one of the first, but one of the very good advice that could be very supportive for all of you who are watching is simply to pay attention, to be willing to be receptive.
Who are you listening to?
Exactly. And to be willing to just say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the ajna, the open ajna, most of us, that wants to be certain, that always, you know, is trying to pretend to be certain, to know what, to know, I don't know what, but, you know, and if we let go on that and we have this willingness, which is the second basic, the teachability index, you know, how are you teachable? And if we are willing to accept change, to be receptive, to just being here and not knowing.
And Ra used to say always, the love is in the detail. You know, you ask somebody that's supposed to be over you, you ask them, and if you ask them once and they go, well, they give you the best answer. If you ask them twice, they get a little irritated and give you another answer. You ask them 3 times, they say, because I said so.
Yeah.
That's the end of the love. The love is in the detail. And the true honesty is when you say, well, son, you know, I don't really know. But we could look at it together and see what we could see. That child will trust you forever. And that's what we all have to do. We all have to get back to, like your picture from Burning Man. We all have to get out of that burning skeleton, okay, and be that enthusiastic child again, that exuberant child. Like Mars, you know, it can be immature, but it's also exuberant. It's enthusiastic. So to get that, and you find it, you'll find your way. It's really quite something. The love is in the detail.
Amazing.
How many details have we offered people so far? The love is in the detail, and we'll keep offering the detail. But at some point, we want you to know how to sing the song. And that's what we are demonstrating rather than talking about. And that's why I'm involved.
And that's the living your design experience.
That is
it is an
living
experience.
Your design. Taking the LYD class is not living your design. Living your design is living your design. The LYD class teaches you how to work with that. And you got to be receptive to it.
So well said.
You got to be willing to learn. You got to have a learning index.
And that's the whole point of the 6th line, is that we are interested in living it.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't care if people, I mean, there's so many people that know way much more than me on design.
So what?
But it's mental masturbation, and they don't live it, you know, and it's in the frequency, in the way we live every day.
It is, and you have impressed me endlessly at 33 years of age, where you're at with this, and 6 years of design information, and 33 years of age. Just, you know, it's no one up, one down here, you know. It just is the difference in time that's been with it. I can't believe how fast people are getting this now. And when we talk to people, I watch their faces like a hawk. And you can see their faces, they just light up, and you see their shoulders drop, and they go pull themselves to it. It's like, yes, feed me some more of that. There you go.
Well, it's the truth. People are resonating with the truth. And that's why I believe changing or, you know, manipulating the original transmission from Ra is it's not doing any good things, like trying to change something to sell any sort of manifestation through design. It's just,
people have a right to their own expression, and maybe they'll connect with people, but I think that the purer the truth, the better, okay? But I'm not a fundamentalist either, so there's a balance in that. There's a balance in that. I've certainly come up with things, and then at some point when you get your mind quiet and you get yourself listening to your heart and your mind, things are going to start coming through. You're going to start thinking things that actually are meaningful. And you'll start receiving, because you're going to attract that. You know, what you're vibrating is what you're going to attract. What you're withholding is what you're going to live without. It's the way the universe works. It's very surprising.
It's an inside job.
It's an inside job.
That's why it's
inner truth,
inner authority, right? That's what 2027 is going to be.
Swami Tukkar in Varanasi is not your source. It's
they don't have a long future, those people, you know, because 2027 is the sleeping phoenix, is waking up from the ash and waking up to your own inner authority. The times of fifth line gurus, heresy is just coming over.
It served its purpose. And it's an extremely exciting place where you realize you can be your own authority. You can be your own guru. Guru Binjaman for Benjamin.
For me.
Guru Tom for me. And then Guru Marie for Marie. You know, and it's an inside job. Return to the inner truth to get the aha, I've got it, and then explain it to others by showing it to them rather than talking about it. talk about it. That's okay. People like
Yeah.
to hear words. But at the same time, they're going to be more impressed with your actions
Yeah.
than they are your words. And if they're congruent, that's integrity.
Amazing.
There's one thing you could say for 6 lines. Go through all the hexagrams and write down the name, just the name, the title of the 6 lines, and you will learn so much about what you're here to be.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
You won't be surprised by it.
It's inside of us. We already know it.
inside
Yeah.
of you. You will know.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I think we're going to end up with that. So thank you very much, Tom. I really want to emphasize thank you to all of you who have been watching the video. If you like it, leave us a thumbs up. Feel free to share the video with your friends, and thank you for supporting us. I want to say how much appreciation I have for myself for doing this amazing little interview with Tom, and how much appreciation, Tom, I have for you for being here with me. How much I appreciate all of you who have been following the journey, who are still here, who are doing the work out there, who are living with authenticity and integrity for yourself, who are willing to seek the inside job, the love of yourself, the joy, the compassion. So thank you very much for all of you. I think that's it. So yeah,
Good enough for now.
good enough for now.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, thank
My
you.
true brother.
Yeah.
I don't have that many of them, and I'm sure glad for the ones I do have.